So welcome everyone. If this is your first time in a restorative yoga class, the items that you are going to need are lots and lots of pillows, different sizes, different densities. If you need more cushion, get firmer pillows. If you need a little bit less, then you might adjust your setup to that way. Make sure that you have a blanket as well, both for cushion, sometimes underneath the neck, underneath knees, and even in the end just to draw over the body. Now, if you're joining this and it is summertime for you, which it is for anyone on this live stream, a sheet is actually a great way for your final resting posture of Shavasana. I recommend it for the reason that it helps to insulate your body. And what that means is that you're insulating your energy into the physical body. And this can be really powerful for allowing us to consolidate and to return. If you think like many great rivers all pouring back into one ocean, you want your energy to be centered in the spine for any sort of conscious shifting or upliftment. So also, if you need an eye pillow, now's a great time for that too. Okay, very good, my friends. Let's find our comfortable seat and we'll just dive right into our practice today. Whatever that means for you, if it's cross-legged, anything that you fancy. You can be seated on a couch, on the edge of a chair as well. Just keep your spine nice and long. Let's take some deep cleansing breaths together as a group. And when you breathe in this way, breathe right from the inner center of your heart. And we're going to take double inhalation, so short on the first, followed by a long on the second, and then double exhalation through the mouth. And don't worry, I'll lead you through it gently. So let's go ahead and take a few together. Double inhaling. Double exhale from the heart. Again. From the heart. Again. Release. This time hold. Hold the breath. You can even shrug the shoulders up if you like. And release. One more time. Hold. Feel that the oxygen in your lungs is turning into rejuvenating energy, seeping through all the pores of the skin, permeating every part of the body. Then release the breath. If you need one more round, feel free. We're looking to sort of rouse the energy in the body, stir the energetic experience that we're having in this moment. Let's gently shift the energy right up to the center of the spiritual eye. And you do this very simply by looking at that part of the body. If you need a little rubbing or a tapping here just to help you get centered, careful not to lift the chin as you try and look up. Little tapping's a wonderful way to stimulate here. And then you just face the palms up on the lap and take a few moments to let the awareness rest. And it's sort of like all the summer fireflies are gravitating to one central source of light or central flame. In the yogic tradition, this is the center where we first inwardly perceive light, right beyond the darkness of closed eyes. The yogis explain to us, and we can prove to ourselves through steadfast practice, there's their wondrous light that is right below that darkness. As we get calm and we center at the spiritual eye, it becomes readily available. Let's start with a chant that's a little more active, but this chant is great for awakening a connection with that light. And if you don't mind, I'm going to get this in the chant book just so I don't forget it halfway through. This chant is called I Awake in Thy Light. I awake in Thy light. I awake in the light. I am joyful, I am free. I awake in Thy light. So Chanting is a two-way street, my friends. It requires you to practice with me, to chant, whether it be mentally or out loud. Don't worry about the quality of your voice. You don't need to be a professional singer. Chanting is so much less about the voice and so much about the heart. So join as you feel comfortable. Let's take a moment behind closed eyes and watch for yourself the effects of this type of music, this type of chanting, and notice if you don't feel more uplifted already. Bless you. And just look, let all that wonderful, it's like a geyser bursting from the center of your heart to the spiritual eye, wonderful emanations of joy. Let's take a moment here. We'll open the eyes. We're going to sweep our hands up overhead. Anytime that you move your hands above the head, you're encouraging a greater sense of lift and vitality. Let's start in mountain pose. It's usually a sustainable pose. If your shoulders are sensitive, find hands right into the heart. And let's go ahead and just pause here. The affirmation, I lift my thoughts and energy up to touch the sky. I lift my thoughts and energy up to touch the sky. Imagine like you have little balloons tied to the crown of your head, and they're sort of just floating you up into the sky. I lift my thoughts and energy to touch the sky. One more time. I lift my thoughts and energy to touch the sky. When you're ready, you can inhale, and this time interlace the fingers if your hands are extended, and go ahead and just press the palms up as high as they'll go, and take a few deep breaths here. Let the instruments of the heart, the hands and the arms, begin to revitalize. A little bit of stimulation here, just to make sure none of us are sleepy in the practice. And then free your hands and inhale, reach all the way up and expand all the space around you. Carve out a little bit more realty in the divine estate. And then inhale, you can sweep arms up the body. And all we're doing here is practicing with attention and awareness, the upward flow of energy. Exhale, arms come down. If you can smile all the while you practice, it makes it that much sooner that you return to the joyful state. Some of us might even like to find the lotus mudra, thumb and pinky finger together, and you make a little flower and just guide that energy right up through the heart. This is the mudra of devotion. And then exhale, you let the flower bloom and open the arms wide. And feel that wonderful sweetness, reminiscent of being a child, innocent, trusting that all your needs are met from a source greater than yourself. In childhood, it's the mother. In adulthood, it's the divine mother. Inhaling, reaching all the way up. Hold at the top here. We're going to practice a very specific little practice here. When you're ready to release your breath, exhale all the way out. Pause with the breath held out and feel that your body is a vacuum, that you're drinking in new vitality through tips of the fingers, in deeply to the organs, the bones, marrow. Whenever you need to inhale, it's right there for you. You inhale and lift a little bit higher. Exhale, release all the way out. Pause at the bottom, even for a second. And feel that wonderful emptiness. Like you're a vacuum, you're creating a vortex of energy drawn into the body as soon as you're ready to inhale. And then exhale and relax the arms down and around. Let's maybe do a couple more here. Hands out in front of the body. We'll double inhale to tense the arms open. Double exhale, release. Lots of vigor. Exhale from the heart. One more. Good. How about sweeping arms up behind? Relaxing and floating down. Again. Again. Last time. Or I should say reverse. This is the last time. Good. If you feel particularly lightheaded, you can open the eyes. Look right into the spiritual eye and feel this vitality as we're drawing vital airs back into the body of prana, oxygen. And if you could stay in your seat for this last little sequence, please do. And then we'll get into our first restorative pose. So with legs are crossed, just take your hands softly onto the knees and start stirring in the spine. And you imagine you start right in the base of the spine. So that you're rolling around in a circle from one sits bone around the pelvic floor to the other. And we start relaxing the entire body. Let it get really loose and malleable. Even if there's sensations that are challenging in the body, if there are emotions, even thoughts that are contrary to this joyful expression that I'm alluding to, worry not, just keep moving and calmly breathing. We are all on different timelines, and then we reverse the direction around, staying right on the root of your spine. Some yogis may be able to get really dramatic here, and we're sort of spilling the belly forwards, and then we start to round the back a little as we move backwards. This is where we start to move into the sacral center. So you spill the belly forwards and you round the back, hooking the hands. Sacral center is just about 2, maybe 4 finger widths above the root. And this is a beautiful center of childlike joy in the body. So if we have any blocks to being childlike and joyful in our lives, this is a good place to really work on. Let's reverse the direction when it's natural. And wow, if you close the eyes and just sit nice and tall as you start to move around, you can get quite a momentum going that starts to spiral the energy up the spine. Don't take my word for it. Dive into your own practice. And when you start to come into a little bit of a tighter spiral, we're coming into neutral for our next exploration, working up the body into the solar plexus. We're going to inhale and lift the chin and push out through the solar plexus. This is the space above the belly button. And exhale and look down towards the lap. So take your time here. Notice that you have to roll up through the first energy center, first chakra, then second, then the solar plexus can open, and then exhale and round and fold down. Good. Just keep moving like that. Shoulders are relaxed. Careful not to grit the teeth together. Unless you want to heal your teeth, learn about a healing technique of squeezing the teeth closed, nice and tight. If you have teeth problems, tense them and feel that they're being recharged. Good. And we're going to move into the heart a little more, which is quite open already, but we're going to double inhale, double exhale to release. Again. Double exhale to release. Again. And release. We don't even have to work on the level of the muscles to create change and shift. Remember, the tension in your body is caused first by the state of your consciousness. Second, by the condition of your mind. Third, by the posture that we hold in our body. Good, let's come into the throat. Stay with the practice. Feel that any blocks to self-expression are being cast out of your temple. Any restlessness disturbing the expansive inner calm that is natural to your being. Good. A couple more here. Try holding out on exhalation just for a moment. Like a waterfall of energy pouring down into the body, refreshing. Last time. Good, release. Maybe start to feel like you're floating or you're vibrating. All right, there's only one way to balance the spiritual eye, and that's through chanting. How lucky for me, how lucky for us. Let's just take a moment here and we'll chant the sound of Om. The great guru and teacher Paramhansa Yogananda arranged Om, these vibrations of Om that are called the singing Oms, and so that we're lifting our vibration. Each of the tones we move through the heart, the throat, spiritual eye. So when you're singing these, feel that connection. Let's sing together. Mentally. Final round at the spiritual eye. Steadfast concentration. Let there be some silence here, resting at the spiritual eye before moving the body. All right, now that we're all tuned up with some joy and some good vibrations in the body, we can really enjoy these postures. So thank you guys for joining me in that opening practice. It's always a joy to share these teachings. So let's come into a restorative fish pose to start. Many of us know this posture. It's a wonderful, wonderful way to open the heart. As Westerners, if you're joining from the West, we are excellent, excellent thinkers, sometimes to our detriment. So by opening the heart, we're bringing balance back to the inner temple. So you set a couple of pillows right at the base of the spine. It can be helpful to set an additional pillow for your head. Just make sure that you're not at the normal incline that a lot of teachers teach these days, but you just want to have, basically lift the floor to hold your spine, so you have a nice natural curve in the lumbar, and the back of the heart is supported. And what this does is it allows the hips, it allows the shoulders to really relax instead of slouching at a diagonal. So you go ahead and come down into your version of the practice. And I'd like to start with knees bent and take arms nice and wide and just let the knees roll off to the side a few times. And you sort of test the water, see what your spine's ready for. Some of our low spines are used to being in a very protective stance, and they might not welcome these generous explorations, and that's quite all right. The more that you breathe, the more that you smile, the body begins to soften. It remembers that it's safe, that the consciousness flowing through it is benevolent, loving, kind, and it begins to relax its protective stance. Anything else that you might like here? Sometimes I like to wiggle the fingers a little bit, or even rub the face or the scalp. If you've been in this class, you know these little movements. You find what you're looking for, just a little rolling and rocking. Good. Take as much time as you need in this opening. All these practices are just warm-ups for the real practice, which is returning back to a sense of inner calm and present feeling. Some of us may even take one of the feet and maybe just hook it over the thigh for a few moments and kind of just rock a little bit side to side. You can guide with the hands. Nothing feels like it's happening there for you, then you just release it. And you might even roll off to one side or the other. Yeah, just like that. You're kind of wandering your way into the practice. If the eyes are open, let them close. There's nothing really interesting going on in the ceiling. It's happening all within you. When you feel like you've matured past the point of movement and stillness starts to become a more welcomed idea in the body, let that happen naturally. Arms can go overhead if you're still exploring. The affirmation for fish pose in the Ananda lineage, which is a lineage I'm part of, is, "My soul floats on waves of cosmic light." You can extend your legs at any time if you so choose. Let's repeat this affirmation together. My soul floats on waves of cosmic light. My soul floats on waves of cosmic light. You might even imagine with your arms outstretched like you're floating on the surface of the ocean, sunlight sparkling, or if you have a different version of paradise, go ahead and find your way there and feel that wonderful upliftment. My soul floats on waves of cosmic light. Remember, just behind the veil of darkness, when eyes are closed, there is a luminous sea of inner light. This next chant calls to that sea, calls to the spirit that's hiding just behind the phenomenal world, awaiting our stillness and our patience to discover. This chant is called, "O Thou Blue Skies." Skies under blue cover, hast thou hidden my beloved Lord? O thou blue skies under blue cover, hast thou hidden my beloved Lord? Open thy cover, let me discover. Open thy cover, let me discover my beloved Lord in thy heart of hearts, my beloved Lord in Let's enjoy this opportunity to lift the awareness from the heart and back to the point between the two eyebrows. Hearing the faint melody drifting within the mind. Everyone will naturally return when it's perfect for them to. When you feel that sense of awakening in your own body, in your own mind, that you are ready to progress to the next posture, you just very gently roll off to the side and on to the back. Try to stay inward as much as possible here. We're going to extend, let's start with the right leg so we're all on the same side here. And then take your left knee and go ahead and set it up onto pillows. Both arms gathered onto the side. Use a pillow underneath the head if necessary. So you're resting twisted on one side. And you find what you need. If you need a little more cushion, maybe use 2 pillows. If you need a special cushion underneath another part of the body, go ahead and find it. And then once you're ready to, take the top arm and just slowly start to drift back towards the heart. It can be really nice to hold your hand at the base of your throat. And this calms any restlessness in body and mind. Remember that your hands have wonderful healing capacity. You don't need to be attuned to any lineage to embrace this healing energy. It's innate and freely available to you. And then you might begin to start to open the arm a little wider in time, twisting as much as you'd like to. The affirmation, I open to the flow of the divine's life within me. I open to the flow of the divine's life within me. I open to the flow of the divine's life within me. And what does this mean for us? It means that we're opening our inner doorways to a greater potential, a greater awakening, what a wonderful place to rest in the body. Feeling the twisting in the low spine is a gentle coaxing to lift the energy out of these lower centers where it begins to pull from certain habits, ways of being. And we invite that up this river of our spine. Let your inner river flow and be dynamic, filled by the melts of mountain snows, the infinite potential consciousness above and around you. And the breath is your raft, the way that you navigate these inner waters. When the breath becomes restricted, it means that we are being presented with an opportunity to expand beyond what we thought possible. By calm relaxation, by inner surrender to this dynamic, living expression of consciousness flowing through each of our bodies, we become master navigators of this inner river. And the master of any great art breathes very calmly, very slowly, controlled. It's in the freeing of this inner channel that we discover our own unique flavor, our own unique contribution, never to be repeated by any other soul. If you're particularly comfortable on the side and you'd like to stay a bit longer, you're most welcome to. Careful in these deeply relaxing postures not to slip into unconsciousness, which is very different than superconsciousness. Superconsciousness is an inner wakefulness, a vibrant, illumined state within the body, deeply relaxed. The more that you draw your awareness back up towards the spiritual eye, the more easily it becomes to hold a state of superconsciousness. This is the state in which the body can heal very quickly. Insights, intuitions can slide right into your wakeful awareness. All that is to say, when you are ready for the other side, take that journey in your own timing. We'll have a chant in this posture. This chant is called Divine Gypsy. It's a chant by Yogananda, and it speaks of this journey that we're all on. I'll sing to the sky, I'll sing to the wind. I'll sing to the sky, I'll sing to the wind. I'll sing to the sky, I'll sing to the wind. I'll sing to the sky, I'll sing to the wind. I'll sing to my red cloud. I'll roam, roam, and roam. I'll roam, roam with all. I'll be the king of the land through which I roam. I'll be the queen of the land through which I roam. I'll be the queen of the land through which I roam. I will be a gypsy. I will be a gypsy. Roam, roam, and roam, 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 and roam. I'll sing a song that none has sung. I'll sing a song that none has sung. I'll sing to the sky, I'll sing to the wind. I'll sing to the sky, I'll sing to the wind. I'll sing to the sky, I'll sing to the wind. I'll sing to my red cloud. I'll roam, roam, and roam. I'll roam, roam with all. I'll be the queen of the land through which I roam. I'll be the queen of the land through which I roam. Let's take these moments to center the awareness into the heart and to listen for the unique melody that manifests through you. That only you can hear. And in grateful offering, we'll lift that right from the center of our heart to the spiritual eye and let it expand. Release it. Release any experience that you're having through deep breath, like the blooming of a flower. Before we come out of the pose, we'll use a few rounds of Om just to encourage this upward release. Chant if you'd like. Find anything to be grateful for in this moment. Grateful for this miracle of life, of having the opportunity to experience. Grateful for the breath in your body. The superabundant joy awaiting your invitation in the heart center. This is called the Anandamaya Kosha, or the bliss body. Again, you're most welcome to remain here, although honoring that some of our bodies may be ready to move out of the position. You can begin to take whatever arm is on top for you and just go ahead and fold back over so that you're facing in the same direction. We're going to roll onto our backs. Make sure that there are no pillows or supports under your back at this time. And let's rest on the back for a few moments. Knees can be bent. If you feel that you'd like a little awakening movement in any part of the body, just leave the eyes closed and you can wave the knees side to side. But think subtle rather than gross movements. Little micro adjustments, slow explorations. And you'll know that you're in the right place because it feels good, or at least feels that you're changing, you're shifting something that's ready to move. If you like arms overhead, this is a great position to do so. Then how about knees in towards the chest and a little rocking here, just to get that energy going a little bit higher up in the spine. It should start flowing into the heart and the throat from this posture, and even up to the spiritual eye. You might reflect on what your innermost mantra is through the day. That is the feeling or the state of consciousness that is most prevalent in your life. And allow your inner awareness to witness if that still serves you, if it still feels true to you. You can set the feet down for a moment so that you're back onto the earth. Let's cultivate a new mantra for our lives. No better way to do this than to supercharge the upper energy centers in the body of the heart, throat, and spiritual eye. We can do this by lifting the hips and pulling some support underneath our hips. So take one of your pillows, take two, take three, as many as you can sort of stuff under there to support your hips. Once you find a comfortable position, make all your little adjustments. Release the hands, palms facing out. Now some of us are going to take knees in towards the chest, and we're working our way up towards feet into the sky. And this is certainly a welcome experience. Just make sure that whatever position you choose is not taking away from the inward direction of energy that we have cultivated together thus far. Remember, it's all happening within the spine. Every step on your spiritual journey is occurring on the stage of your inner spine. The yogis call this the Sushumna. which is a hollow tube of subtle energy that starts at the base of your spine, goes directly through the body to the very crown of the head. So find your comfortable position, one in which you can sustain. Let's open our hearts, open our minds to possibility. All our affirmations start with the Sanskrit word hum, which in English means I am. It is the activating statement that brings whatever follows into manifestation in your life. Through repetition, through concentration, inner devotion, your words can become powerful forces for shifting your inner consciousness. Whatever you place after I am is your choice, as long as it affirms a soul quality. Soul qualities are love, joy, peace, calm, power, wisdom, light, sound, and even beyond, you may come up with your own. Kindness, and just imagine that you were a saint for a day. This was your day to live in the awareness that a saint embodies. If it's a joy-permeated saint, or a bliss-permeated saint, or a peace-permeated saint, feel that consciousness so overwhelming in body, mind, and soul that it nearly banishes any previous identity. Let it take you over completely. This is not an experience of the mind, but through the language of the heart. There's no wrong way to do this practice when you're centered in the heart. And keep repeating this mantra not as an empty form, but as a sacred vessel or a container to hold the living spirit of your consciousness, your vibration that you are in this moment birthing into your life. And each time with greater devotion, greater sincerity in your body, your mind, and your spirit. Look right into the spiritual eye for these final moments in the posture to lift that devotion and refine it into superconscious awareness. Your mind is not part of the process, just the feeling body. Feel that energy rising. And even further now, as you repeat your personal inner mantra, Project it from the center of your brain right through the point between your eyebrows and feel yourself expanding out into infinity, bursting through all boundaries of self-imposed limitation. Breaking any barriers, burning up indifference. You set your soul ablaze in its expression. When you get really deep in this practice, the greater that you soften and surrender, the more powerful the magnetic draw of new, revitalized energy, prana, cosmic life force, however you perceive it, is pulled into your body, the greater the projecting capacity of your prayer to radically transform your life in every way, right here and now. It's almost like a rocket ship blasting from Earth. You're just about to break the orbit, and as soon you feel the resistance of the air and you break the orbit, and all of a sudden there's weightlessness, there's infinite expanse. All the effort releases. And we just enjoy for the final moments in this pose any inner gifts that were being given. Very gently, as your experience begins to soften, begins to ground back down, we feel the inner tides of breath, body, calmly circulating. You begin to remove yourself out of the pose when you feel ready by lifting the hips off of the pillows. Slide them out of the way. When the hips come back down onto the earth, reach the legs long, come right into Shavasana. Palms face up in Shavasana. You feel the wondrous glow in the heart, the open channel of the spine. As deeply as you can, look into the spiritual eye. Even if it's a new practice for you, just by gently looking up with the eyes. In any spiritual experience, it becomes very easy to look to this point, especially the deeper ones. The whole body is relaxed. You're surrendering into the hands of peace. Let the universe hold your body as your consciousness is free to orbit. Use the singing ohms to go deeper. This round of them, listen unless you feel compelled to chant. You're most welcome to. Just keep them soft. Let us remain together in perfect silence. Let's begin the slow descent back to the physical body. Let it be as graceful as possible, moving through the various layers of body and mind until you feel yourself anchoring back into a temple that is both relaxed and revitalized. Your identity is simultaneously fixed at one point in the body, the spiritual eye, and also expanding as a great, spacious consciousness. If there's any particular part of the body that requires healing at this time, if it's a particular center in the spine that could use support, let the superabundant energy in your body be concentrated at the spiritual eye, shining a perfect beam of light. Feeling energy being pulled through the base of the skull, revitalizing your body and strengthening this beam. Turn that beam around right back into your own brain. And feel any negativity being burned by this divine light. Neural pathways and habits that no longer serve you being cauterized at their source. The inner fog of ignorance burning in the presence of this divine light. And again, we reclaim the beam of energy shining from the point between the two eyebrows. Feel the experience, an intuitive practice. Energy flowing right into a powerful concentrated beam. We're going to turn that beam this time right through the crown of the head and let it pierce shafts of light deep through the body, right to the root of your spine, to the soles of your feet. No matter how long a room has been dark, the moment that you turn on the light, the darkness is gone. Feel damaged cells in the body soaking up this energy. Germs, diseases, viruses no longer able to exist in this inner climate that you have created. Diseased thoughts no longer able to serve in this climate. One final time, you beam the energy right from the point between the two eyebrows by relaxed inner will. Energy flowing through the medulla. Turn that beam this time to a single part of the body that could use healing. Whatever it is for you. If you have challenges with kidneys, lungs, eyes, teeth. Just take a moment to come back to the spiritual eye and feel the light in the body. Feel the bliss in your body. And from that light and bliss, we can awaken gentle movements throughout the body, fingers and toes. Feeling refreshed. Let the movements grow. You might reach arms up along the earth overhead. Whatever it is that you need in this moment. Just little awakenings. Knees can come in towards the chest. Feeling not that we return from a deep sleep, but there is a new vitality in your body, a new presence. When you're ready, you can roll off to your side. Take your time, and then we'll slowly make our way back to our comfortable seat. Only when you're ready. Palms will face up on the lap, chest is lifted. The chin is gently tucked behind the heart. Let the heart be the first part of your body to meet every opportunity in your life. There are some yogis who actually walk around like that. Their heart is quite literally the first part of their body that meets their life. Leave the eyes closed and enjoy, without feeling that you need to rush to the next experience. Just enjoy this beautiful bliss of being in your body, being in a state of uplifted consciousness. We'll finish our practice in the next 2 or 3 minutes here of just silent meditation. All we're doing is basking, like you're laying in the swimming pool, laying in the ocean, laying in the sun, maybe your air-conditioned room, whatever is bliss for you. Come right back to the spiritual eye for the last few moments here, ending in an uplifted state, or beginning, however you look at it. Let's join the hands together in prayer, bowing our head towards our hands. We bow first and foremost to those great teachers, the great masters that silently guide us from within, that are inwardly engineering our lives to help uplift us. We give great thanks to those teachers, both in form and without form. Give thanks to the divine and what that means for you. For without grace and benevolence, none of these practices are possible. And just as they're freely shared with us, let us freely share them with our larger community of this world. You can rub the palms together. Send energy anywhere you want in the world. It could be the world over, it could be a particular person, it could be world leaders, it could be an enemy or an adversary that you have. Shine the palms out nice and wide. Relax the whole body. Let yourself be a channel in this moment. Divine consciousness flows through you every moment. You'll Healing vibration pouring through you into this world, uplifting great souls everywhere. Uplifting lost souls and everyone in between. We'll close our practice with the sounding of Om. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth, sigh. When you're ready. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Peace, peace, peace to all beings. Go ahead and just give a little push of the hands to release that energy out into the world. Hands back into the center of the heart. We bow this time to the divine nature within ourselves, within all beings, which is loving, kind, humble, joyous, as the essence of who we are, by saying Namaste. Namaste. Few moments coming back as you're ready to. Some of us may just keep the eyes closed and sort of drift off into our own space, since it's so lovely of a space to do that. If you'd like to share anything of your experience, feel free. Thank you, everyone.